Hey guys, it's me, Vinny Lospinuso. I'm back with another vlog, and I know I haven't posted in a little bit, but I was busy last night. I was in New Jersey, in Ridgewood, New Jersey in particular, because I was here for a book signing for Gary Myers' book, Once a Giant. Of course, a longtime author, wrote for the Daily News, New York Daily News for like the last 30 years. I think he's retired now, if I'm not mistaken, but he did write this book. Of course, he did Brady vs. Manning and numerous other amazing titles, but I came here to see him. But I wasn't just there for him. I was there for Phil Simms. Most were there for Simms, but even though I was mostly there for Gary Myers. So as I got off of work, because, as you know, I still work part-time at Dunkin' Donuts, for now at least. I drove a little over 2 hours from where I am in Long Island all the way to New Jersey and there was a good parking spot that was right there, right by the bookstore, the bookends, right there. And it felt perfect. So I parked right there and I waited online. And once I was done with that, I went inside the store, went on another line, and then I picked up the book, which I actually pre-ordered this a week in advance online. So I was really very fortunate about that, for what I did. And then once I was done with that, it's a relatively small bookstore itself. It's rather small, but there's a downstairs area where they do a lot of the signings. And so I go down the steps, and there's another like a long line that wraps around the little area. So you like go that way and back, you go another way, and you go, and then you're almost there. And so I was there. I spoke with a bunch of people that were from Jersey or from that town like I was. Then I finally got to see them. I shook Gary's hand. I shook Phil's hand. I told them that you probably see me on Twitter. Yeah. And so I gave them my resume and I took several photos with them. And one of them is actually right there. And I was done, and I said to Phil, "Hey, hope you make the Hall of Fame." I said that because I think if you were to combine his playing and broadcasting career into one, he has a good case. If you do just one, it's not as good. So I went up and I spoke with this guy named Alan. He was a global historian from Staten Island, I believe. And we spoke for a bit. And then when that was done, Phil came out at the back and signed some autographs for some people. And so there's some time that waited. Phil leaves. Gary was still in the store. And everyone's gone by that point. And I'm right there by his car. And he comes up, and so is his daughter. And I said, "Oh, hi, Gary." And I speak to him a bit more. Speak to him, and I speak to his daughter. I told him about Pudge Heffelfinger. He didn't know who he was. I also told him about John Bralier and O.D. Thompson and Charles Fowles, other pre-NFLers I've talked about. He doesn't know who those are either. So I was actually teaching him, which felt pretty humbling, the fact that I spoke to someone who votes for the Hall of Fame, and I taught him about pre-NFLers that deserve to have their own bronze busts in Canton. And his daughter was impressed, and she said, Canton could really use you. I said, "Thank you." I told him that I think Simms, if you were to combine his playing and his broadcasting career into one, you'd have a good case, but he said no. And they talk about the wing of the hall, but it's not really a wing, it's just an award. I care about the bronze busts first and foremost. And I said to him, yeah, but there are some other people that have gotten that as well, that have gotten bronze busts, like the Sables. Artledge is close to getting it eventually. You have people that have both. I want to see Simms have that for everything. He said, well, if you want to do that, you'd have to do it as a contributor. So yeah, that's a little loophole you can get through, which is pretty nice, actually. I told him that I like larger class sizes. I told him I don't think 3 seniors is enough, and I don't think only one non-player enough is good. One player year is enough. I would like to see more. I told him that a lot of people aren't very patient for this stuff, but I told him that I really do admire his work. Phil took all the copies for my resume, so he didn't have it. But instead, he decided to give me his card that had his phone number and his email, and also his Twitter account, which is pretty awesome. It really is. That Gary Myers, of all people, a voter for the Hall of Fame, someone whose field I want to get into. I even told him, hey, you know, I grew up reading your stuff when I was a kid in the Daily News. Like, you made me want to get it. And his daughter thanked me a lot and everything else. And I even said I would love to see Matt Ryan make the Hall of Fame. And she said, he just has a better chance than you probably realize. And I said, whoa, I hope so. I want it so bad. And I do. So it was a wonderful night. I just was myself. I was natural. I wasn't trying to push an agenda. I wasn't trying to tell him the cases, like the right choices, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to blind time that. Say, hey, you know, these people really deserve it. I would love to see that. I do it very, very conversationally. I don't want to come off as intimidating. I don't want to come off like I know more than him. I want to come off like someone who truly, truly cared about the process and the profession, and I want to make things better for everyone. If you do it like that, instead of acting like oh, you want everyone in, that's a lot better, because it makes more people relate to you and everything else. And hey, that's the third voter, the fourth person associated with the Hall of Fame that I got to tell about pre-NFLers. They didn't know who they were, and I taught them. So I was teaching him about football history that he didn't know about. That's no shot against Gary Myers. He has been in this industry for a very, very, very long time. But in a way, it tells me how much they're really needed. The fact that they don't know about them. But I want to help change that. And I got to take those continuous baby steps one bit at a time. But I really appreciated seeing Gary, as well as his daughter, Emily. I think her name was Emily. I'm going to see Gary next week in Manhattan. He's going to do another book signing with Leonard Marshall and Hall of Famer Harry Carson. I will definitely be there for that. I'm also excited for it. But that's my vlog on what happened, guys. I want to know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of Gary Myers? Do you like him? Who would you like to see in the Hall of Fame? Like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe to Zennie62 Media for more videos like this. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.